Hello everyone, my name is Shanling Huang, and my advisor is Professor Shih-Hao. Today the topic of my seminar is about roof truss. Let's begin. This is the flowchart of my presentation. First, we go the introduction. In this chart, I will tell you about the current situation of the truss. Second, I will explain the definition of the truss and members in the truss. Third, I will tell you why we choose to use the truss and the benefit we get. After that, I will introduce some types of trusses. And finally, there were some applications will be mentioned. And it's your question time. There are three types of trusses. They are plain truss, curved spatial truss, and flat space truss. Having a lightweight and can be made into various shapes are advantages of the truss. Plain truss make all members and knots belong to a plane. The members and knots in space truss may be extended to three-dimensional levels. Space truss is an increasingly common construction technique, especially for large roof covering like commercial and industry building. Now, trusses are widely used on bridges, stadiums, airports, railway stations, and other large size or spatial shaped buildings. Do you know the definition of the truss? And what is roof truss and gusset? The simple truss or truss structure is an assembly of members forming a rigid framework of triangular shape. No matter what type of truss, can hold up the pressure from all directions. It's useful to earthquake resistance and large spans building. In this picture, you can see the members in the truss. The main support members are top chord, bottom chord, and weight members. In the right picture, they are the most important members in the truss. They are chord and gussets. When several trusses are assembled, it becomes a roof construction like left picture. As I said, the simple truss is an assembly of members forming a rigid framework of triangular shape. These members always connect at the joint by the gusset. Gussets are flat wood, plywood, or other similar type members. They are fastened to the truss by nails, screws, bolts, or adhesives. Okay, when we use the roof truss, what will we get? A benefit or a deficit? It is estimated that a material saving of about 30% when we make on roof member and ceiling joints. But why we save the material? Because the double top plate on interior partitions walls and the double floor joists under interior bearing partitions are not necessary. Truss can be erected quickly. Therefore, the house can be enclosed in a short time. The room frame can be ready for shipping in less than an hour. Most trusses are fabricated in a factory and then delivered to the job site. A long-bone mobile crane with a spreader bar can be used to lift the trusses up to the top plates. After that, assembly is swung to the top plate, and the worker on each wall plate position the trusses and nails them. The bar is then removed and returned for another load. Roof trusses also eliminated interior bearing partitions because trusses are self-supporting. If no interior bearing walls are required, the interior of the building becomes a large workroom. This allows increased flexibility for interior planning, since partitions can be placed without regard to structural requirements. In a word, when we use the truss, we can save about 30% material. The trusses are pre-assembled in the factory, so we save the time. We have more useful space and the on-site labor cost will be reduced. So many benefits we can get. In this picture, you can see there are many types of trusses, but today I only choose 3 of them to introduce. They are King-post truss, W-type truss, and scissors truss. This is the King-post truss. It consists of top cord, bottom cord, and the center vertical posts. Because of the unsupported length of the top cord, we use the same size members. A lower span of the King-post truss is than the W-type truss. The King-post is the simplest form of truss used for house. For short and medium span, the King-post truss is probably more economical than other types because it has fewer pieces and can be fabricated faster. This is the W-type truss. It also has top cords, bottom cords, and web members. Its design includes of 3 more members than the King-post truss, but distance between connections are less. This usually allows the use of lower grade number and somewhat greater spans for the same member size. The W-type truss is perhaps the most popular and most widely used of the light wood trusses. The scissors truss is more complicated than the W-type truss. It provides good roof construction for a cathedral ceiling with a saving in material over conventional framing method. The scissors truss is used for house with a sloping living room ceiling. Look at this form. Compared with 3 types of trusses, we can see the King-post is the simplest. The W-type truss is the most common. The scissors is more complex than others. The weak points of the King-post truss are that higher number required and short spans allowed. The advantages of W-type truss are that lower number required and long spans allowed. However, local price and design law requirements as well as the spans should govern the types of the trusses to be used. Last but not least, it's time to share some tips and application to you. Before making the truss, we must know how to choose the material. It's often desirable to use dimensional material with a moisture content of about 50%. The moisture content should not exceed 19%. When use the plywood gusset, we should care about the humidity. For normal conditions, where relative humidity in attic area tend to be high, so the resourcinal glue should be used for the gusset. In dry and arid area, where conditions are more favorable, the caisson glue or similar glue might be considered. Glue should be spread on the clean surface of the gusset and the truss member. When designing a new truss, we should consider not only the snow and wind slopes, but the weight of the roof itself. Design also takes into account the slope of the roof. Generally, the flatter the slope, the greater the strength. Flatter slope therefore needs large members and stronger connection in roof trusses. After finish a truss, we must know how to storage them. The completed truss should be set aside immediately after assembly. It should be disturbed until the glue has set. In handling and storage of completed truss, facing unusual stresses on them. They were designed to carry roof loads in a vertical position, and it's important that they be lifted and stored upright if they must be handled in a flat position. Enough support should be used along their length to minimize bending deflection. Never support the trusses only at the center or only at each end when they are in flat position. Plans for the fabrication of truss drifter must include the preparation of an engineer design. The design must be approved by the FHA. But why is FHA? The full name is Federal Housing Administration. It's a United States government agency created as part of National Act of 1934. It stands construction and underwriting and insures loans made by banks. Finally, the conclusion. The roof truss is capable of supporting loads over long span without intermediate support. Second, roof truss can save material and the on-site labor cost. Third, the use of truss types are affected by local price, design loss requirements, and the stance. Fourth, it has been greatly refined during its development over the years. Gusset and other pre-assembled types of roof trusses are being used extensively in the housing field. Thank you, everyone.
好，谢谢。